Alright, another match, again off ladder. This is a TvT against foe, diamond level player, rank 31 diamond. Only Heart of the Swarm. I don't know, maybe he's really good, maybe he's played a lot and it's a smurf, don't know. But he's definitely diamond in Heart of the Swarm. And I'm going once again for a Marine tank drop. And the goal here is to scout, know what I'm up against, and deal with a Marine tank drop well.
Additional supply depots required.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
I come across the map, get my early gas.
SCV ready.
So I decide to attack this guy mercilessly, and I in fact stop him from building. And I still come back in and kill the worker. And I lose my worker. But I get my scout, I kill the worker. I've delayed his depot, as the Muslim would say, or depot. And he's getting his orbital as mine's already finished. So that's a good little win for me. Everything's going to be delayed. There's his command center, very delayed. He's got a Reaper coming out. I am putting Marines at my wall constantly, and I'm hiding my factory over here so that I can, just in case he scans, he doesn't see it as likely. So I put my 2 Marines out on the edge as much as possible, and booyah, right as that happens, he's starting to take fire. I don't know what that looks like from his perspective, so I'm curious. Yeah, it's gonna die. It's not gonna even get up in time. So that's perfect.
Add-on complete.
Okay, back to me. So, okay, I'm going to my old build, which was just, I get the tech lab on my factory. I don't get it on my reactor. I don't reactor it and swap it. I just want to go straight and get the quickest hit possible. I like this push better. I think it's quicker. Yeah. So, in the income tab, I'm a little bit ahead. Nope, he's a little bit ahead. He's doing better on his SCV production. So, I bring a Marine out here just to see if there's anything in there. Get my second siege tank, get my second Medevac. I'm not missing supply depots, which is really important.
Go, go, go. SCV ready.
And I got a bunker coming down, and I'm about to hit my supply cap, but I've got all my units. And right now, I send them all across, and as that happens, I then now make a big wave of production. So I'm really trying to push this out, and it leaves my base at 743, which is really pretty good. Get a command center, get supply depots, get have my tank move to the right location.
Additional supply depots required.
So now is when I throw down a scan, and I want to make it look like I'm scanning his main, but I also want to see what's going on the back wall. Drop in. And I want to keep my units here. Kill everything of his. Make sure that I'm getting more medevacs, make sure my tanks are sieged. I should have, by the way, I should have seen this and thought, okay, that means Hellbat drop. So I should have put tanks in my, 1 tank in my mineral line instead of at my front, and I should have put a turret there. So that's something I should have done. Yeah. Anyway. Killing his ability to make
is under
killing his
attack.
ability to make Hellbats, get more barracks, get double E-bays,
Ready for dust off.
got more Medevacs, and here comes a drop.
Ready to go.
I didn't
Our
quite see it.
SCVs are under
Oh,
attack.
yes I did.
Go, go, go. We can use some help here.
So,
Use some help here.
Upgrade complete.
in the workers lost tab, he's killed 12, I've killed 10. That's pretty good. Let's go back for a second. So he kills 12, I kill 10. So I
Ready
should
for
have pulled
dust
my workers earlier.
Our
That should have been the first thing I
SCVs are
do.
under attack.
This better be good. We can use some help here.
So it's 27 to 22. Excuse me, it's 27 to 17. And I'm sieging his facilities. His stim does not finish, so I canceled his stim, which is awesome.
This better be
So
good.
aside from preventing him from mining, aside from canceling his stim, aside from a lot of other things, you know, I've done some good damage here. Although he is ahead in the worker count. So I send my medevacs home.
Armed and ready.
Alright, so now I am getting up my second,
Fueled up, ready to go.
and I am pushing out with another force.
Go, go, go.
Let's just see when I start pushing out with that force. So, I send those medevacs home.
Add-on complete.
I take everything and send it back out again. I got a turret up there.
It's go time.
I've got turrets down here. I'm building more workers, building more medevacs, and
SCV ready.
building marines. Should have been building marauders, but whatever. Stim's on the way.
SCV
My stim's a little bit later than his, but
ready to roll out.
army supply, I'm a little bit, he's a little bit ahead. Actually, my stim's ahead of his, excuse me. My stim is way ahead of his. So,
Ready for dust
I have a
off.
good force. I kept building tanks while I was pushing,
SCV ready.
and
Oh, it's on.
I'm gonna move in,
SCV
throw down a scan,
fueled up, ready to go.
siege up. I should have sieged a little bit earlier once I saw him scan and taken good position on his base. So now 12 to 15 workers killed, so he's a little bit ahead in that, but I'm still doing pretty well. I've got more marines and marauders and tanks coming. I'm sieging his base again, making sure I'm dropping my mules.
Gangway coming through.
Siege up my tanks. Oops, shot my own tank there, which was bad. Would have been a fourth tank. Don't ever do that. Come on up. Fight. Scan to kill the widow mines. Killing his factory. Siege tanks, and he pushes in. I stim, he stims. Yeah, these tanks are just out of range. Somebody else messaged me in the game, and I thought it was him. That's why I GG'd early. I thought he was saying I'm an ass, and I said, oh, well, I guess that means he thinks I'm an ass because I won. So I GG'd. It was not a preemptive, bad manner GG. But anyway, siege up my tanks, put my bio in front of it, continue to lay waste. Got a good marauder army here, but I do have 3 tanks, and in the income tab, I've got 2 bases working. He drops on my tanks. Gets one of them. 50 to 80 supply, and that's that. And let's just do the everybody cam here. So he's got a bunch of barracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's just like full on barracks production Marine Marauder. So this was like a really strong transition in that it's got a good ability to do damage to me if he catches my tanks on siege, which he did. This Medevac goes down. No, it dropped everybody. That was a good little drop. So let's just look at that last attack from his perspective.
Add-on complete.
In the unit tab, he has Hellbat, 4 Hellions, 4 Marauders, 15 Marines. I have 17 Marines, 2 Marauders, so he's a little bit ahead in that regard. Then I've got my 4 tanks and my Medevacs, much more, 5 to his 2. Again, I should have sieged out a little bit later.
Add-on complete.
That could have been catastrophically bad and ended the game.
Base is under attack.
Our SCVs
Add-on
are under attack.
complete.
And he just is producing a ton at a time here. He's producing
Let's have a blast.
3 Marauders, 2 Marines, +1/+1, and Stim, but he's not going to get his +1/+1 up in time.
Ready for dust off.
Add-on complete.
And I'm keeping my resources low by building my 4 Marines, Marauder,
Base
and
is
tank,
under attack.
and continuing to push into his base. So he just needs to wait for another massive group of units. His income is about where mine is, but he's not getting a lot of gas, so it means he's not going to get a lot of tanks.
Add-on
So they're so gas intensive. He can get Marauders though. I should have moved back a little bit and forced that engagement to hit my units when it hits. Meaning siege tanks hitting. Which they're not. But
upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
nope, gets my Medevac.
Research complete.
Let's have a blast.
Base is under attack.
So that was a good unsiege on my part to not let my sieging units just take fire without hitting. Yeah, he's just losing a lot.
Our
Base is under
SCVs are
attack.
under attack.
Really strong play. Really almost held, but just kept losing over and over again. And yeah. 9,000 to 4,000 losses. Kind of comparable APMs. So I was supply capped only 47 seconds. He's a minute and 45, which is good on both of our parts. Pretty close. Wicker's active. He took a lead, but then I dipped it when I attacked. He dipped into me with his attack. It was a really good counterattack. And let's see how that was in the resource collection rate. Yeah, for a little bit he really had it with the second base, the mules, and the extra SCVs, but I again dropped that by getting rid of his second base. So when I kept looking at the income and kept looking like it was even, but because I had pushed him off his second base, that would have continued and really been hurtful to me. So that's really important to keep in mind, that it was even here when I started pushing in and then dipping, but it would have just been way above. So that was a really good move. Upgrades, pretty close. We just chose different tech. It's a cute little curve. Army value, mine stayed pretty strong. His dipped a bit. Mine kept growing. Obviously mine took a dip on that major hit, but it was well worth it. So in his first attack, 850 to 450. Did a lot of really good spending, kept my resources low. Continued, I had 2 tanks, 3 tanks in this push, 4 tanks, and I just kept growing my tank numbers. That's really devastating to a bio player, even with Marauders. That's why he had to drop. 8 p.m. is pretty close. Got a little higher for a bit. Mineral income. Like I said, this is really important here. This is where I pulled my workers. This is where he pulled his workers. So he would have continued to have a really high mineral income and gas income. So his minerals and gas would have just really outshined me very quickly if I didn't keep pushing, because of his counter drop, which killed a bunch of SCVs, and he had better SCV production to begin with than at an earlier command center. So I did the amount of damage I needed in this attack to get back in the game when you don't get that command center first. And I killed a lot of his tech and stim. Resources lost in combat. He just continued to lose more and more. Minerals in bank. Yeah, I just don't think, no matter what, I don't know that he could produce as much as he needed to. He was constantly producing, but just had a lot of minerals in bank. Gas in bank, I started to have a little bit, but not much. He was really using it. All of his, I think, maybe if he had more reactors, he could have pumped out more Marines. Workers active, again, we know this story, which is that he got ahead, I dipped it, he dipped mine, and then I prevented him from using them. His second base was at 530, mine was at 928, and then I stopped him from using it. So it went back down, even though this graph doesn't show that. Looks like neither of us were supply capped. So we did good there, both of us. Really solid play. Diamond level player.